Have you ever wondered why some Irish surnames almost vanished from memory forever? Hidden within parish records lie names rarely spoken today across quiet valleys. These rare surnames carry echoes of forgotten clans and history's ancient landscapes too. They whisper of poets, warriors, farmers and saints long gone from Ireland's shores. In Ireland, a surname once revealed lineage, occupation and allegiance clearly to all. Today many common names remain, but others nearly disappeared through famine migration waves. The rarest Irish last names often survived in isolated regions of rugged terrain. Some lingered along the western seaboard, battered by Atlantic winds for centuries quietly. Others hid within inland counties, where Old Gaelic endured longest in speech daily. To understand them, we must return to early medieval Ireland before Norman rule. Between the 5th and 12th centuries, Ireland was tribal and fiercely kin-based. Power rested with clans known as Tuatha, bound by ancestry and territory law. From these groups, distinctive surnames began forming across provinces like Munster, Ulster, Connaught. Many began with O, meaning descendant of an ancestor, revered male founder figure. Others used Mac, signifying son of a notable father within the clan structure. Yet some rare names evolved outside these dominant patterns, shaped by place names. Consider the name O'Dibir, once found in Waterford, now seldom heard there. Anglicized as Dwyer, it spread widely, but originals dwindled in Irish spelling forms. Rarer still are names like O'Hainmhire, recorded briefly in medieval annals alone. Such surnames faded after English administration reshaped Irish society through plantations and policies. The Tudor conquest and later Cromwellian campaigns fractured clans beyond repair in places. Land confiscations forced families to abandon ancestral territories and sometimes their surnames entirely. Some adopted more common names to avoid persecution or taxation pressures imposed then. Others translated Gaelic forms into English phonetic spellings that altered sounds dramatically over. In this process, many fragile names disappeared from records of church and state. The Great Famine of the 19th century deepened loss as millions emigrated abroad. Ships carried families to America, Australia, and distant colonies, leaving graves behind unmarked. In new lands, officials often simplified unfamiliar Gaelic surnames for easier pronunciation overseas. As generations passed, original spellings were rarely restored within immigrant communities abroad again. Today, genealogists sometimes rediscover these lost threads within dusty archives and libraries quietly. A single baptismal entry can reveal a vanished surname hidden for centuries past. Among the rarest are names tied to small septs within remote baronies once. The sept of O'Clomhine survived briefly in North Connaught before assimilation occurred. Little remains except scattered references in monastic chronicles that scholars still study carefully. Another example is MacJoll of Hindane, seldom encountered today outside specialized research circles. Its meaning suggests devotion to a fair-haired saint whose shrine once flourished. Such devotional surnames reflect Christianity within medieval Ireland, intertwined with clan identity, and when monasteries fell, some associated families faded from prominence and memory alike then. Rare occupational names also survive in fragments, like O'Brien smiths and brewers. These hint at trades once respected within Gaelic towns before urban decline set. Place-based surnames tell of lakes, hills and valleys where ancestors settled generations. Names drawn from Irish words often changed spelling abroad, obscuring their original meanings. For example, O'Codhine, once echoed in Connemara, now rarely heard there anymore. Its root relates to battle, suggesting a warrior lineage vulnerable to erasure gradual. When language shifts, subtle meanings are easily lost within translation and time passing. The Irish language once unified these surnames in sound across provinces and generations. As English spread, pronunciation altered beyond recognition for many fragile family names then. Yet in Gaeltacht regions, older forms persisted longer, preserving rare surnames in speech. Communities in Donegal, Kerry and Mayo guarded linguistic heritage against outside pressure often. Within these landscapes, rare names remain tied to identity and local story traditions. Modern Ireland now sees renewed interest in ancestral research through archives and DNA. Descendants seek connections to names almost erased by history and silence alike once. Online databases reveal patterns hidden for generations, linking scattered cousins worldwide today again. A rare surname can unite strangers across oceans through shared ancestral memory alone. Sometimes only a handful of bearers remain in Ireland, preserving fragile linguistic treasures. Each carries a story stretching back 1,000 years to tribal hearthfires. Though small in number, these families shape cultural richness within the national tapestry. Their rarity does not diminish their historical importance, but rather deepens its value. Scholars study them to understand migration and survival patterns across centuries of change. Through them we glimpse forgotten alliances and rivalries between neighboring clans once fierce. We also see resilience amid conquest, famine, and exile that tested every household. Some rare surnames resurfaced during the Gaelic revival of the late 19th century. Cultural movements encouraged families to reclaim original forms and restore Irish spellings proudly. This quiet restoration protected names once close to extinction within living memory still. Schools and scholars promoted Irish language in public life, strengthening surname awareness nationally. In doing so, they revived pride in rare heritage long overshadowed by empire. Today, festivals celebrate local history and distinctive surnames, drawing visitors to ancestral towns. Genealogical societies map lineages once thought broken, reconnecting families with archival fragments carefully. For some, discovering a rare surname transforms identity, grounding individuals in ancient story. It offers belonging beyond borders and modern divisions rooted in ancestral soil deep. Rare Irish last names therefore act as living archives of memory and resilience. They remind us that history survives in ordinary families, not only in monuments. Even a nearly forgotten surname can reshape understanding of local and national past. Each syllable carries traces of landscape, faith, and struggle, carried across generations patiently. When spoken aloud, these names revive ancient rhythms of Gaelic speech patterns softly. They echo across hills, where clans once gathered beneath open Irish skies wide. Though rare, they are threads in the national story, woven through centuries quietly. To lose them entirely would narrow our shared memory and diminish cultural depth. Preserving them honors ancestors whose voices grew faint through hardship and migration journeys. It also inspires future generations to ask questions about their own family origins. What stories lie hidden within your own surname, waiting patiently for rediscovery today? Could it trace back to a forgotten Irish sept guarding lands long vanished? Might its spelling conceal older Gaelic roots, reshaped by centuries of translation abroad? Behind every rare name stands a human lineage of mothers, fathers, and children, their lives unfolded within fields, monasteries, and towns shaped by conflict and change. In their entrance, rare surnames found fragile continuity across turbulent centuries of upheaval. That continuity links present families to distant pasts in Ireland and beyond shores. It forms a quiet bridge across time, connecting hearth to homeland memory gently. The rarest Irish last names are therefore treasures of language, history, and kinship. They survive not by accident, but by resilience within families who remembered them. Each preserved name defies the erasures of empire, famine, and forced migration alike. In speaking them, we participate in the preservation of ancestral identity and dignity still. We keep alive fragments of the Celtic world that once flourished widely here, and we acknowledge the quiet strength of small lineages often overlooked in history. Rare surnames remind us that heritage is delicate yet enduring across shifting eras. They invite careful listening to stories nearly silenced by conquest and assimilation pressures. Through research and remembrance, we ensure their survival within modern Irish consciousness today. In doing so, we honour countless unnamed ancestors who carried rare names proudly. Their legacy rests quietly within parish archives and family memory books worn thin. And within every rare Irish surname, a hidden history waits to be heard. Perhaps your own family name carries such quiet rarity within Irish heritage today. It may have shifted spelling across generations and borders, yet still retains echoes. Searching archives could uncover older Gaelic forms, hidden beneath anglicized layers long ago. Those forms might reveal forgotten meanings, tied to place and personal storylines. They could speak of rivers, forests, or ancestral occupations, once central to survival. Even a small variation in prefix changes lineage direction within clan history entirely. An O may mark descent from a revered forebear whose name shaped identity. A Mac might indicate a branching of brothers within the same sept once, but rarer structures sometimes defy these familiar patterns, hinting at unique local origins. Such uniqueness is what makes rare surnames precious within the Irish narrative today. They resist simplification and invite deeper historical inquiry beyond surface assumptions about identity. For historians, each uncommon name opens new questions about settlement, kinship, and migration. For families, it can awaken powerful emotional connections to homeland and ancestry stories. These connections often inspire journeys back to Ireland, seeking townlands, churches, and graves. Walking ancestral ground gives rare names renewed presence within living memory again today. In small cemeteries, weathered stones guard fading inscriptions, bearing surnames seldom seen elsewhere. Each inscription is a testament to endurance across hunger, hardship, and exile endured. Though numbers dwindled, identity persisted. Through family storytelling around hearthfires at night, grandparents passed down pronunciations carefully and deliberately, preserving subtle sounds of Gaelic speech. Sometimes only fragments survived within emigrant communities scattered across continents, far from home. Yet even fragments can guide modern researchers homeward toward parish ledgers and archives. DNA studies now complement written records and oral memory, offering clues about kinship. Combined evidence sometimes restores a nearly vanished surname to its rightful family branch. Such restoration feels like recovering a lost heirloom, polished and placed back proudly. It reconnects present generations with ancestral resilience forged in Ireland long ago. Here, rare Irish surnames therefore shape both scholarship and belonging in equal measure today. They challenge us to look beyond the familiar and listen for quieter voices. Within those quieter voices lies profound cultural depth rooted in Celtic tradition. Still, this depth reminds Ireland of its layered past, stretching before kingdoms and conquest. It also reminds the diaspora of enduring connection to ancestral soil and sea. No matter how rare a surname becomes, it still carries centuries of memory. Within that memory lives the spirit of clans who shaped Irish history deeply. It lives in language, music, and quiet faith carried through adversity and hope. To speak a rare name is to honor those who bore it first. It is to acknowledge survival against heavy odds in turbulent chapters of history. And it is to claim a place within story stretching centuries before birth. Rare Irish last names are quiet guardians of heritage, identity, and belonging. Still, they ask only that we remember and preserve their stories with care always. In remembering, we strengthen the fabric of culture, woven from countless family threads. That fabric binds past, present, and future together across Ireland and diaspora communities. Every rare surname adds a distinct color to that shared tapestry of memory. Without them, the pattern would feel diminished and less reflective of truth fully. So the search for rare names matters not only to scholars, but families. It matters to anyone seeking deeper roots within the Celtic inheritance of Ireland. The rarest Irish last names still endure quietly within parish books and hearts. They endure because families carried them carefully across seas and through hardship faithfully. They endure because memory outlasts erasure. When families nurture with care and pride, as long as they are spoken, history breathes through each generation anew today. And when they are studied, history deepens, revealing connections once hidden from view. Within the rarest Irish surnames, Ireland remembers itself in language, lineage, and love.